Good afternoon, Evan. It's Thursday, and I'm actually reshooting this because that first video, I guess it just didn't quite hit the mark for me. I think I went too ranty into philosophical things and my problems with it, or just like talking about it. Although I do like it, and I think there's a true purpose, a good purpose behind philosophy, just the frustrations of what a conversation usually goes in the route of because it's so inconclusive. But I do want to just touch on personal truths more directly. Um, I'll just I think personal truths will always be a thing, and they are necessary to acknowledge, because they come into conflict. I think it comes up well, the way we try to tackle different personal truths. We try to create an objective one reality so that we all can follow that creates an ideal situation of how we want that to look, right? And for me, I would feel that as long as we strive for an ideal and get to the point where we all have equal outcomes and equal, well, not equal outcomes, that's very communist. I mean, equal opportunity. I mean, equal opportunity in a civilization, that's something where I want to be going for, right? um and I think that's something where personal truths, it tries to get answered through our legal systems, our education, our religion, um, and they're always going to be there. I think they can coexist as long as um, they are seen as or as long as they're seen through an empathetic lens, I guess. The value of another person's truth still has value, but everyone is still open into hearing and adopting other personal truths if they feel for it, and trying to find, we're all trying to find that ideal one reality. And as long as one person doesn't believe that their own personal truth is a true one reality over others, maybe that's that. Maybe I'm trying to paint it into a box so it's applicable, which I'm having a hard time not doing. Um, yeah, I think there is a true reality. I think there is statements, there are truths that uh like hold themselves. If we're trying to go for a reality where we all have an equal opportunity, we all have our own differences, but they make us happy, or they make us, we flourish in some way, that we want to live life, um, then that's it. I think that's a thing, a goal that I would imagine that we are trying to all go for, or most of us, and that acknowledging personal truths are necessary in order to strive towards that common ground, that place that we all recognize as the place we want to go, or that school of thought, I guess, that mental space. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's just like a scenario of, I think recently there was a tweet that went on the news, but it was so interesting how it did because it's just so minute. It was just of a Twitter person. I think it was like Daisy Mama Plant is a gardener, and she tweeted a very wholesome, nice tweet about her and her husband, how they meet out in the porch or the patio every single morning, and they drink coffee together, and they talk for hours, and they just love each other so much, and it's just a nice, cozy, warm, tweet. And a lot of people, I mean, a good amount. She got a lot of responses that are like, that's bull. No, no, no. Do you two not work? Oh, were you born into money? And it's like, wow. Like, if only, like, you must be lying. That's not true. Like, oh, you only dated a few months, and that only happens because you guys are still new. Um, Things like that, like how you can talk so long and all that's how you have the time in the day to do that. And she responded too, eventually got so much that responded back. She said that they both work. She's a business owner, and he's a professional skateboarder, and so they have a lot of themselves the amount of hours to be able to just chat like that in the garden every morning together. But still, no, those people just had such a hard time accepting that, um, that there was something like that outside of their own personal truth, their own reality. They couldn't imagine that people could be, I guess, content and living a lifestyle that they would dream of, but they don't think is attainable. I think in their life, okay, they would stand by it, that that's their truth, that's their personal truth. They wouldn't call it a personal truth. They would just think that's just the way things are, and you have to be well off, or you have to do what to be able to be in that position. They would never be able to do that. Are they wrong? I mean, if they say they can't, then they probably can't, and I guess that's a true statement. But for her, to her it's a true statement, and I know of people personally who are like that too, and you do too. So we know that's true. Are they conflicting? I mean, no, but in the certain lights, if he says that's impossible, or they say you can't be living life that way, that's impossible, and that's false. It's a very fine line, and I think that sums up everything. I'm more content with this type of approach than just ranting about philosophy and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's just some of my thoughts. I think personal truths are a necessary thing to address, but they are highly subjective, of course. But even then, answering if they can work out together, or what do we do next, I think, the direction I believe we all should strive for is that one through line for all of us to meet and congregate together to say, hey, this is the thing that we all agree on, that we're all going to try and strive for, that reality, that one truth. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Okay, see you Monday, Evan.